Okay. Let's start in dragonfly. So we're going to start with 1 or 2 yin poses today. And then our mission is to get fiery, sweaty, and move lots of energy around. So if at any point you feel like it's too hard or you just need to take a break, there's no shame in that. Do it lovingly. We're going to start in dragonfly. So the key is that you first want to see that you're sitting above your hips. If you're sitting a little bit behind you and you're so lucky to be in that awesome big empty room with lots of wooden blocks, you can sit on the block. And if you don't need one, great. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to actually take our hands a little bit behind us and just lift up your head, lift up your chest. Take a full breath in. Oh, sigh it out. Take another full breath in. And then with your exhale, sit up and bring your chin to your chest and start to roll down, wherever that is for you. So for some people, it's the two-winged dragonfly. For other people, it's the 4-winged dragonfly. But wiggle around and see where your edge is today. If it's painful underneath your knees, you can always slide your hands right underneath your knees. But most likely for a lot of us in this posture, it's just painful in our ego. And that's fine. So take a full breath in, and with your exhale, sigh out and close your eyes, and then see how much of your body you can allow to become heavy. So let your head hang, let your tongue be fat, and your cheeks be wobbly. Let your elbows hang. Yeah, see how that relaxes your shoulders. Let your elbows be heavy and bent. And coming into this first posture in a yin style, you find the shape that fits your body, which you all already have done. And then after you've, picked at your toenails and figured out this or that about your outfit for today, you want to feel that you can actually soften your whole pose and become still. So with your eyes closed, sometimes it's easier. And imagine the whole surface of your body was like a lake that was coming to stillness on a nice calm day. And then the last bit, you're already halfway through, is just to commit through staying through being annoyed in this posture, being uncomfortable, being challenged, being bored, being irritated, being mad. You can stay through all of those things. If you have sharp pain, that's not what we're practicing staying through. But see how still you can be. And you can decide whether you love this pose or you hate this pose, or you feel nothing. And then go further and notice if you dislike it, for instance, how do you dislike it? What particularly don't you like? Or if you're really enjoying it, like what color would that be? And then with your next inhale, start to lift your head and walk your hands back. Keep your hands about mid-thigh, flex your feet, and just see if you can lift it all up for a moment. So maybe you just get one cheek. If you're sitting on a block, you can slide off the block and put your hands in a block. And then we're gonna stay with our legs wide like this, and we're gonna stay with our chest facing straight forward, and we're gonna slide the right arm down your right leg. Maybe you can bend your elbow and hold your head. Maybe that's still far, far away. And then you're gonna stretch your left arm up and drape it over your ear. And then see how much you can melt your arm over your head without losing your chest. So it's kind of like casual yoga, like it's nearly like you're asking a question in a class, like, I don't really care. Yeah, beautiful. So you want to feel all your intercostal muscles stretching. And the key is to not lose your chest. So if you start to drop it and your chest caves in, that's not our intention. With our whole practice today, we're really working on opening up our heart and being able to trust and lean into our backspace. So staying in the pose, take a full inhale, and with your exhale, sigh out and soften into the pose more. So here in Sweden today, it's been so windy. It's actually Thursday, but it's been so windy. Like the whole house has like been just moaning because it's being like blown into so much. And so sitting inside the house, it's like really dramatic how windy it is. But every time I go outside, it's windy, but it's direct, and I can feel the wind on my arms, and it's blowing my skirt around, and it's enlivening. It feels so refreshing. And it just has me thinking about how much of life we kind of experience, outside over there. And it's scarier and more dramatic when it's kind of removed from us often. And sometimes actually to get less scared or, more enlivened, actually stepping towards the source of chaos can be actually what you need instead of hiding away. You might notice you like this version of the posture even less. So just take a couple more breaths here. Notice how you've wilted. And then inhale, lift up to center. And you already know we're gonna do the other side. So just take a moment. Notice if you're making up a story about how it's gonna feel on the other side. And just throw that into the universe. Maybe it'll be different. Slide your, or maybe you'll just leave. Slide your arm down your leg. That would be your left arm. And maybe you're gonna hold your head on this side. Maybe you go to the floor with your elbow if you need a little bit more space, or maybe you're laying your ear onto your shin. And then stretch up and drape your right arm over your ear. Notice how tempting it is to collapse your chest. And maybe you feel like energetically you're pulling your left armpit a little bit forward. And once everyone's in the posture, we'll start the count. I'm just kidding. Keep your heart lifted. And just for a couple breaths, pretend that you really like the pose. What would that look like? What would that feel like? Where can you soften without losing integrity of the posture? And then inhale, lift up. You might have to physically help your legs, pull them together, pull your knees in, bring your chin to your chest and your forehead to your knees. Come into a little small package. Hug in. And then staying close to your thighs with your chest, grab the back of your thighs, lift up your head, and then rock back onto your coccyx bone. So that triangle at the base of your spine, you're gonna rock back onto that. Oh, kind of know where you're going here, huh? And then either have your legs coming out at 90 degrees, holding on to your thighs still, or you can already stretch your legs straight up if you'd like, wherever is challenging for you, but you can still keep your heart in it. And then maybe you can stretch your arms out. Keep your chest lifted. You can have a little mantra, nipples up, nipples up. Yes, keep my heart high. And then with your exhale, go low. Inhale, lift up. Exhale low, hovering above the ground. Inhale up. Exhale low. Inhale up. Exhale, bring your arms up over your head. And then try lift up. Ha, for 5. Keep lifting. 4. Spread out your toes. 3, 2, 1. And then cross your ankles, roll over your crossed ankles, and come into child's pose. So this posture is there for you anytime you need a little bit of a break. Take your hands together and then bring your thumbs to the back of your neck. So that it feels like you're really like upside down praying, which feels about right for this world right now. So in whatever language of devotion you use, just dedicate your practice to forces you want to see strengthened in the world. Or dedicate your practice to someone who's suffering and you want your sweat and your effort to be as a gift to them. And then release your hands forward and roll up and tuck your toes under. Bring your hands, you might have to like help, like, yeah, the little toe doesn't really like to tuck so much. So tuck your little toes in. Bring your hands to heart center. Well, while we're staying in toes pose, we're gonna sound 3 ohms. So if you're alone at home, the noise from the video will cut off. However, if you're ohming, you can imagine other people ohming with you as well. If you're a room full of other people, that's the best. Empty your breath. Lift up your heart. Take a deep inhale. Ah. 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 Release your hands down, bring your hands forward, and just start to slap out your feet. It shouldn't hurt. It can be noisy. And then rock back onto your heels and your toes and stretch your ankles and the tops of your feet. And then rock forward and yes, my loves, tuck your toes under again. Now, you want to be kind of at the front half of your yoga mat. And you're tucking your toes in again. Bring your hands to prayer. And then engaging your root lock, see if you can lift up your knees. Easy peasy. Squeeze your knees together a little bit. Yeah. Keep your heart lifting. Now see if you can lift up 5 centimeters. Like there was something unfortunate on the seat. Okay, see if you can start to slowly come all the way up. Woo-hoo. And then relax your heels down. Inhale, stretch your arms up high. Exhale, soften your knees and bend forward, let your head drop. Keeping your knees bent with your inhale, lift up, halfway lift. Hands come pushing to your shins or lined up with your toes. With your exhale, bow down. And then inhale, roll up. Stretch up tall. Exhale, Samastitihi. Bring your hands to heart center and then drop them down at the end of your breath. Inhale, stretch your arms up, gather the energy around you. Then exhale, bend forward, soften your knees, let your head hang. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, release and bow down. Push down with your feet, roll up to the sky. And with your exhale, bring your hands down by your side, take your hands to your hips, and just start to make some circles with your hips. Oh yeah. And then circle your hips the other way. Now, if you're up for the challenge, make some 8s. Oh yeah. You can even add some rib rolls. See how much you can roll around. Beautiful. And then reach your arms up, stretch up nice and tall, and with your exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift, pulling your lower belly up to your spine, and then step back to plank. So you have your heels reaching back, your chest reaching forward. Bring your shoulder blades down your back so you have a nice, sexy neck, and you're looking in front of your yoga mat. Take another full inhale and inch all the way forward to your tippy toes, then keeping your elbows close to your body, lower all the way down to the ground. Flip your feet over, push your toenails into the ground, make your legs strong, and then inhale, low cobra. Exhale, release back down to the ground. Now inhale, strong legs to low cobra. Exhale, back down to the ground. Now inhale, strong legs, low cobra with your elbows bent. Your back is doing the work. The wide arms is a nice variation. Keep a couple breaths here. Keep them, actually just enjoy them. So maybe lift your hands. Cobras don't have hands. Yes, beautiful. Enjoy it. Go to your edge, lift up a little higher. And then with your exhale, relax down to the mat, push back onto your knees and lift up into downward facing dog. Take a full inhale here and empty your breath all the way. Inhale, lifting up your heels, bending your knees. Exhale your breath as you gaze forward and then hop your feet forward, bringing your knees to your chest. Inhale, halfway lift, drag your chest forward. Exhale, release and bow down, let your head drop. Push down with your feet, roll all the way up to the sky, stretch up tall, and with your exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now, everybody, bend your knees and hover your knees over the yoga mat. Now, bend your elbows and squeeze your elbows, the bony part of your elbows together. This is called turbo dog. Bend your elbows as well, Akiko. It's not your normal downward facing dog. It's like extra dog. So if you ever need a little bit more challenging yoga class, you can always make your downward facing dog a turbo dog. For 5, 4, 3, 2, stretch your arms, and then maybe stretch your legs. For some of us with tight hamstrings, we want to have a bend in our knee. So you can really have a nice anterior tilt in your lower back. So really feel like you're like stretching your butt cheeks up to the ceiling. Like imagine you have a heavenly booty and it wants to go home to the sky. Yes, beautiful. Take another full inhale, fuel up, empty your breath all the way, look forward, and then walk or float your feet in between your hands lightly. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down, let your head drop. Push down with your feet and roll all the way up to the sky. Touch the ceiling, and with your exhale, Samastitihi. Then bend your knees, toes and heels together, and lift up to Utkatasana. Fantastic. So you want to feel the weight in your heels, and you want to feel like you're pushing your butt back and lifting your chest. And so you're actually bringing some healing compression into your lower back here. Now see if you can let your butt drop down lower and your heart lift up higher. Stretch your beautiful arms, lift up with your inhale, and with your exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, chaturanga or the ground. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg straight up to the sky. And bend your right knee, trying to pull your heel to your buttocks, and then let your hips spin open. Yeah, and you want to feel that you're pulling towards your left ankle with your right armpit. You're trying to pull your heel to your buttocks, your thigh, your knee is reaching up. Both of your legs are really active here. In my own practice right now, I often am playing with keeping my right hand down and just giving myself like a high five on my right foot with my left hand. If you're looking for a challenge. I can see it. There it is. Yeah. Kind of fun. All right, take another full inhale, and with your exhale, bring your right elbow to your left, your right knee to your left elbow, to your right elbow. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, bring your right knee to your right elbow or higher. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose, and then step your right foot forward. Spin your left heel down and rise up, warrior one. Breathe into your fingertips, let your heart lift, and ride your exhale all the way down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra, any back bend really. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg up to the sky. Bend your knee, let your hips spin open. So the dynamics of this pose is you have your right heel dropping to the ground like an anchor. Your left leg is bent, your heel is pulling towards your buttocks, and you want to feel energetically you're pulling your left armpit to your right ankle. Now, if you want to challenge yourself, see if you can just tap the bottom of your left foot with your right hand. Nice, Akiko. And then smoothly come back out of it. Very good. Inhale, and with your next exhale, bring your left elbow to your left knee to your right elbow, to the left elbow. And inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, tap your left knee, left elbow. Whew. Inhale, stretch long, bring your knee to your nose, step your foot forward, spin your right heel down to the ground, rise up, warrior one, and exhale, sweet chaturanga. All right, Lourdes, if you're gonna get that Shavasana in, you better go now. Love you. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra, downward facing dog. Now bend your knees a little bit. Reach your heavenly booty to the sky. Notice your breath. Notice the heat in your body hopefully is increasing. You might even be starting to glow a little bit. Take another full inhale as you lift up your heels. Exhale, bend and soften your knees. Look forward and quietly hop your feet in between your hands, keeping your knees close to your chest. Exhale, release and bow down. Push down with your feet. Bend your knees, rise up. Utkatasana. And then exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. Keep your hips squared. And with your exhale, take your right knee to your left elbow again. Inhale, stretch your right leg long. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Enjoy a push-up. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, bring your knee forward and step your foot to your thumb. Plant your left heel down. Rise up, warrior. Exhale, open up into warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And then exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg long. It's gonna be awesome. Exhale, bend your knee and take it to your right elbow. It's a challenge. Inhale, stretch your left leg long. Exhale, bring your left knee to your left elbow. Enjoy a push-up here. Inhale, stretch your left leg long. Exhale, bring your knee forward and then deliver your left foot next to your left thumb. Spin your right heel down. Rise up, warrior one. Open up, warrior two. You got it. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, windmill your hands either side of your foot, vinyasa. Ride your breath down to chaturanga, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Soften your knees. Feel your hips reaching for the ceiling. So we're going through some of these postures a little bit quick at this point. So if you're not so familiar with the practice yet, just trust that it will come. And one of our objectives right now is actually to really increase our temperature and increase the fire in our body. So even if we're not perfecting every pose right then and there, we're still warming up our body to be more fluid and more under our sovereignty. Take another full inhale. Empty your breath all the way and then look forward and lightly float your feet in between your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down. Bend your knees, drop your booty. Inhale, Utkatasana. All right, find the weight in your heels. See if you can lift up your toes and just wiggle them. If you're not sure if you're wiggling them, you can look down. And if you can't see your toes, you have to move your knees back. Step your feet together. You'll have way more power with your legs squeezing together. Yeah. Now sit down on that invisible chair and start to lift your gaze upward. And then with your exhale, bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, pull your knuckles down and your chest up. And then with your exhale, bow forward, bringing your hands towards the ground. Inhale, Utkatasana, stretch your arms back up. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. You're doing great. With your exhale, bring your right knee to your left elbow. If you want a challenge, try a push-up. Inhale, stretch your right leg long. Exhale, right knee, any elbow. Inhale, preferably your own. Stretch your leg long. Exhale, step your foot all the way forward to your right thumb. Spin your left heel down and rise up, warriors. Let's take some breaths here. So you want to keep your attention to notice first how you're grounded. So organically, you want to feel like your feet are pushing and stretching the mat longer. Your right toes are pointing straight forward, and you have your right knee aiming to be directly over your right ankle. On your left foot, you're pushing down onto the ground with the outside edge of your left foot. And this allows you to powerfully get strong in your legs, so you're rotating your inner left thigh behind you, so your left hip comes forward and allows your right hip to come back so you can lunge more into your right thigh. Now with these powerful legs, then you're gonna have space to reach between your hips and your ribs, getting longer with your Uddiyana Bandha. Your arms can stay up there, Akika. Yeah, baby. Stretch through your fingertips. So you wanna imagine stretching your arms rather than holding them. Take a fine inhale, and with your exhale, open up to warrior two. So this is a powerful pose. It's an active hip opener. So if you know a little bit about yoga, you know that whenever we're opening our hips, we're becoming more vulnerable. So this posture, I think, is so exactly what we need in these times right now. We need to be powerful and open at the same time. Being just powerful too easily is just violence. Being too open too easily just is fluffiness. But you want to be both. You want to be powerful and vulnerable. Now reach through your fingertips like your middle fingers are sick of each other. And that middle finger starts to engage the bottom part of your arm. Now take a full inhale here. And with your exhale, bring your hands behind you, interlace your fingers. Now this is an extremely hard pose. As the title says, it's humble warrior. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna keep warrior two legs, and then you're gonna drop your head as close to your right ankle as you can. So as you can see, this is a beautiful illustration of the power of surrender. This posture doesn't come out of weakness. It comes out of so much power that you don't have to prove it. So notice how this is in this posture. Try to engage your root lock. Try to bring your head down towards your ankle. All right, my lovelies. Now release your hands. You're gonna bring both of your hands to the inside of your right foot. Let your left heel lift up and come into a lizard twist. So you're reaching your right arm up. It should feel open and generous. Now lean back into the unknown and feel it expand and open your chest. Nice variation. If you want to put your back knee on the ground, you can, but definitely lift up your left heel. Link versa. Versa? How do you say heel? Lift up your heel. Yes. All right. Take another full inhale. And then with your exhale, bring your hands to the inside of your right foot. Now, if you want to play here, you can just shimmy your shoulder underneath your thigh and then bend your elbows and stretch your legs out. And then lift your left leg high and exhale, chaturanga. Just for fun. Or first you imagine it and find your way to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Soften your knees. Take a full, juicy moment here. And with your next inhale, stretch your left leg up to the stars. Exhale, bend your left knee and bring it to your right elbow. Try a push-up. It's really humbling. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, left knee, any elbow. Inhale, stretch your left leg long. Exhale, bravely step forward, even though you know what's coming, and rise up, warrior. Warrior one. So take your hands to your hips for a moment, just because you know you're gonna be holding them up for a long time. That should feel good already. And you wanna have your hips squared straight forward. So notice that you want both your hips coming forward. Great. On this side, we easily lose our right hip back. Now, find your feet, Feel that you're pushing down into the yoga mat with your feet, stretching, organically stretching the mat longer, and then lift your arms up. Eventually, this posture goes all the way into bringing your arms together with your arms behind your ears, and then you come into the back bend. So wherever you are, you want to be playing with your edge, right between too much and not enough, where is exactly what you need. So breathe through it, my darling. Keep on breathing. This is your energy source. Take another full inhale, and then bravely open up, warrior two. So it's a very nice, like, own the space of your mat. Take up space. So you're stretching your arms longer, like you go gadget arms. You want your arms to keep stretching. You want to lunge deeply and bravely enough that your left thigh is parallel to the floor and your left knee is over your left ankle. Now, even with this being a hip opener, you can engage your root lock, lifting your perineum. Reach through your fingernails. Imagine you're trying to grow your nails longer. Yoga will actually help your nails grow longer and your hair grow faster, for fun facts. Now, maybe you're hanging out and trying to play it safe and not going all the way into the posture. Unfortunately, you don't get the gift of alignment. Your arms can stay up there. I've never seen any student lose an arm yet. So the more alignment you have, the more power you have. Now, inhale here, and with your exhale, bring your hands back behind you, interlace your fingers, and then just switch the grip from last time. So whichever thumb was in front, just switch it up. And then lift up your heart and bow down, humble warrior. So feel the power you need in your foundation, in your legs, to feel the freedom in your upper body. Feel the surrender. You cannot surrender without power. Then it's just giving up. Make peace with the struggle even. If it's hard to hold hands behind you, you can always use a strap or a t-shirt. All right, my loves, release your hands to the inside of your left foot. Let your right heel spin up. And first we're gonna do a lizard twist. So lift your left arm up to the sky. And it should feel really nice here. So lean back into nothing and feel how it supports you. Yes. Take another full, beautiful inhale. And with your exhale, bring your left hand down. If you want to sneak in a running man here, you get your left thigh as high up over your left shoulder as you can. Then squeeze your elbows in. Move your weight to your fingertips and stretch your legs out, keeping your chest moving forward. Nice, Sabine. Stretch more out to the side with your left leg, Akiko. Get strong with your right leg. Lift them, stretch them out. Lift high with your right leg. Exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now soften your knees a little bit. I know you've been working really hard already. We have one little final push, and then it'll start to really be relaxing. You're like, yeah, sure. Take another full inhale here. Empty your breath all the way, and then walk or float your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, stretch your heart forward. Exhale, release and bow down, let your head drop. Bend your knees, drop your hips. Inhale, Utkatasana. And then stand up. And then take a big step to your right. That's your left. Yeah, that's your right. Cool. And come into horse. So this posture is called horse. But when I do it, I always think it's like the world's shortest, fattest pony. Because if it was a horse, this wouldn't really work. Bring your hands back behind your head. And inhale here. And with your exhale, tap your right elbow down to your right knee. Inhale to center. Exhale, tap your left elbow down to your left knee. Inhale to center. Now exhale, tap your right elbow to your left knee. Inhale to center. Tap your left elbow to your right knee. Inhale to center. Squat down lower and jump up, coming back to horse. And repeat. Right elbow to right elbow. Left elbow to left knee. Sorry about that. Right elbow to left knee. Left elbow to right knee. Come back to center, squat lower, jump up, right to right, left to left, across the body, left to right knee. Come to center, squat low, jump up high. We've got 2 more rounds, right to right, left to left. Do the twist, squat down, jump up. 1 more, right to right, left to left. Opposite, twist, opposite, twist. Get low, get high. Come into horse. Take your hands back behind you. Reach your knuckles down. Lift up your heels. Pull your root lock up. How low can you go? Maybe stick out your tongue for a little collie face. And then bring your heels down, spin your heels out, toes in, and come into a forward bend here. Very nice. So you notice we're doing a little bit more of kind of these calisthenics mixed into our yoga. And we were doing this on purpose. For me, it was a real gift when one of my yoga teachers started doing that, because I've always hated running. I've always hated working out. But I feel like I need to sweat and I need to find that burn, because it actually starts to tone and condition something in me where my struggle on the yoga mat now becomes my freedom and my strength in the rest of my day. And now release your hands and then find your way onto your back, setting up for bridge. Yes, thank you. I needed that. All right, so bend your knees, slide your heels towards your buttocks. A good check is, can you touch the middle of your heel with your middle finger? So you just have your heels that close. Yeah, with your knees bent. Sorry, I'm standing in front of the model. That doesn't really help, does it? Ta-da! Beautiful. Now we've been learning already how much of our power in our legs shows up as freedom in the rest of our body. So push down with your feet and start to roll your hips up to the sky. Exhale, roll back down. We're going to do 3 of these little rolls. Inhale, roll your hips up. Exhale, roll down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Inhale, roll your hips up. Exhale, roll down. And now inhale, roll up. And let's breathe here. So you might want to check, are your feet really hip distance apart? We often pretend like our hips are way bigger than they are. And the way you'll tell is when you push your feet down and forward, does it activate your thighs and help you lift up your hips? Now you can even squeeze your elbows in towards your ribs and push your elbows down with some robot arms. And then roll down 1 vertebrae at a time. Let your knees fall together and your feet slide out. Take a full breath in. And with your exhale, sigh out. And then inhale, lift up. Now, you might be absolutely satisfied with bridge, or if you have more freedom in your back, you can come up to wheel by bringing your hands next to your ears. Squeeze your elbows in with your fingers pointing down towards your hips. And first come up to the crown of your head. Then squeeze your elbows together again. A little bit more, Akiko. Totally picking on you today. Yes. And then slowly with power instead of momentum, lift up. Oh, that was gorgeous. Nice. Now, wherever you are in the posture, see if you can really turn it on. Imagine your hips and your belly is holding up the whole sky. Lift up the heavens. Reach upward like you're lifting up somebody by your hips. And then roll back down one vertebrae at a time. Let your knees fall together and your feet slide out. Take a full breath, just sigh it out. No more, no less. One more. Third back bend here. So give it your all. Either if you did bridge the whole time, do another bridge, or if you're ready for wheel now, do wheel. If you did wheel last time, do another wheel. So you'll notice that like, I don't want to, yeah, okay, it's uncomfortable, but this is what we're here for. We want to practice at that spot. So find your way into your back bend. Let your heart be open. It's really up to you. So part of what we're doing with this fiery yoga practice is we're conditioning our bodies to house an incredible spirit, to be courageous, to be self-expressed. None of these things are easy. So keep trying. Maybe step your feet a little close together if they're wider than your hips. If you're just going at that middle point, having your head on the ground, fantastic. Squeeze your elbows towards one another. If it's too easy, you can do some upside down push-ups here. Just dropping your forehead to the ground and up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down, and everybody come down. Now let your knees fall together and your feet slide out, and let your breath return to normal. And then we're just going to do a cleansing twist here before Shavasana. So hug your knees in. Maybe lift up your knees. I mean, your face, your knees are up there already. Kiss your knees. Thank you for being so awesome and getting you this far in life. It's amazing that your body can house you, your incredibleness. And then either stretching your left leg long or holding both your knees to your chest, take your right knee to your left, coming into the twist here. So whatever your favorite twist is, it's a little bit more gentle if you do both knees together. It gets a little harder if you extend your left leg, and eventually you might even extend your right leg here. Now everyone together, take a full breath in, and with your exhale, just sigh out. And then come back to center. Hug your knees in again if you were feeling shy before. No need to be shy anymore. Kiss your knees, thank you. And then either having both knees into your chest and taking them to the right, or stretching your right leg, hugging your left knee in. Take a full breath in. And with your exhale, just sigh out. And then find your way back to center. And find your way into Shavasana. So if your lower back is sensitive, and like you're feeling a lot of feels in your lower back, you can always have your knees bent and let your knees fall together like Pear is showing right here. And before I forget, I'm so horrible on the video. I always forget to thank Pear for being my model and my super genius technical guy. It's incredible how much you can do in this world when you have the support, even of just one person. So thank you so much, love. Now let the earth hold you. She's got you. So you want your eyes closed, palms open. If it's uncomfortable, have your arms next to you. You can always put your hands on your belly. With your next inhale, invite your breath to the edges of your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes and your face and your nose. And just think of something that you're grateful for, especially something that can make a smile spread over your lovely face. And then roll over onto your right hand side, hugging your knees to your chest. Feel the vitality in your body, your vibrancy, and then lift up into a comfortable seated position. And find your way to your seat. Bring your hands to heart center. So even if you're alone in the room, just for a moment, know that we're with you. You're actually never alone. You're cared for. And let's close our class with one final Om. So empty your breath. Take a deep inhale. Ah. And then bring your prayer hands to your third eye. Invite the divine light. And as we bow forward together, we say, Namaste. And so much love. Make some noise. Woo! Yeah. Thank you so much.